All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, depending on where you're at. My name is Austin Zuloff out here in Lexington, Kentucky. Happy Monday. I'm excited about today. I'm excited about this week. We've had some major developments happen within the past week here at Zealous. And it's so funny. So I think I was talking to someone this morning, and I was telling them since we started allowing people to get a spot back in April and actually receive some product, how far we've came from April to now is like light years, right? It's a 50,000% improvement, and I feel like we're still just getting started and not even halfway there yet with all the plans we have currently, not even to mention what's going to happen. Like we all have at corporate and the field leadership, we have a vision. We know the things that we're going to do as far as, new products we're rolling out, sampling, apps and all this different stuff that we've got right now on the ledger to do. But that doesn't even scratch the surface of what's going to happen that we don't even know about yet, that we don't have plans for. And so it's just exciting to be with a company that's always so forward thinking. And I want to talk this morning a little bit about one thing that makes all the difference in the world. And I'm sure that everyone on this Zoom would agree. And it's attitude, it's mindset. So I'm going to ask you a question. Can people with a bad attitude be successful? Yeah, of course they can, right? But it takes more effort for them to be successful. And even if they do achieve any degree of success, they're not happy. They always seem to find a problem in the solution. They don't enjoy it and they make the people around them miserable. I know a few of these folks. I'm allergic to them, right? So most often people with bad attitudes just don't get too awful far in life. And if they do get any degree of success, they backslide so quick. It's wild to watch. I once heard someone say something recently, actually, that I had to laugh at. And I don't think they were really thinking about what they were saying. I had said something because my first language is sarcasm. And every once in a while, if somebody's already looking for a reason to be upset, they find it, right? And sarcasm is a double-edged sword. So I said something, they got upset, and I was like, why are you upset? And they said, I can be mad if I want to. They said, I can be mad if I want to. Who wants to be mad? I guess they did. But I mean, you can, but who wants that? Now, on the other hand, even barely average people can do great things when their attitudes are great. You know what they say, your attitude determines your altitude. It's important to know also that all emotions stem from one of two different base emotions. This is important to know. It's either fear-based or love-based. All of them fall into one of those two categories. It's never advantageous to react from a place of fear, such as anger, jealousy, envy, skepticism, doubt, or things like that. It's never to your advantage. So here's why your attitude makes such a difference as you approach each day, okay? Number one, your attitude at the beginning of any task greatly affects its outcome more than any one factor, okay? And if you're taking notes, just write that down. Your attitude at the beginning of any task affects its outcome more than any other factor. Think about it. You've heard the phrase, all's well that ends well. A better way to think about this is all's well that begins well. Look at successful people, whether it's, a doctor going into surgery, a coach getting his team ready for a game, or a pastor preparing a sermon. The confident person increases their chances for success dramatically, while the pessimist usually gets the negative outcome that they expect. What's your attitude at the beginning of a new experience, at the beginning of a new day, for that matter? Are you excited? Are you cautious? Try this and it'll help. When you approach a task, especially an important one, you don't take, for example, if you approach a task that may be important and you don't necessarily, sincerely enjoy it, focus on the facts, not your feelings. Focus on the possibilities, not the problems. That'll put your attitude in the right place and on the right track. And if it starts on the right track, you're more likely to end up at the right destination. So I'm going to give you 3 tips to develop a winning attitude in just a second. But first, I just want to inform you, if you didn't already know, that it's your attitude, not your achievements, that give you happiness. Write this down if you're able to. The thoughts in your mind will always be more important than the things in your life. I'll say that one more time. The thoughts in your mind will always be more important than the things in your life. You can't buy happiness, right? But you can choose happiness, okay? I'll mention one last thought on having the right attitude before I give you a couple of tips. Attitudes are contagious. It's totally true that you choose your attitude. You may not be able to choose the things that occur in your life, but you certainly can choose how you feel about those things or how you react to them, your attitude about them. But it's also very important to keep in mind that the choices you make on attitude influence the people around you, the people that you say you care about. And just one bad apple can spoil the bunch or create a ripple effect of kindness, happiness, joy, and abundance. Take responsibility for your attitude. Attitudes are contagious. Ask yourself, is yours worth catching? So here's 3 tips to develop a winning attitude that'll carry you smiling across the finish line, okay? So number 1, get rid of words like I can't, if only, I don't have the time, maybe, I'm afraid, I don't believe. Okay, get rid of words like that. Try, that's another one. As a professional hypnotist, one of the things that I say whenever I want someone to try to do something that I really don't want them to do, or I know they can't, I use the word try to insinuate failure. Try always insinuates failure, okay? So get rid of those words and instead replace those words with I can, I will, I know, I'll make the time, I'm confident, and I'm certain. If you continually look for and embrace the positive and eliminate the negative, you'll help yourself to begin thinking differently and more positive each day. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, take time today to write down the top 10 things you're most grateful for in life. Take time today to write down the top 10 things you're most grateful for in life. I really love this tip because whenever I don't know if you've ever had those days where you just feel off for whatever reason. I've suffered with generalized anxiety disorder since I was a small child. I've been on stage and almost passed out before. And, I can tell you 100 different instances in which anxiety has just gotten the best of me. All right. I've learned to cope with it, to live with it. I don't think there's a cure for it necessarily. But whenever I've done this in my life, I took the time to write down the top 10 things I'm most grateful for. And I put some thought into it because you really want to take some time and put some thought into this one. I've done this and I'll tell you that I can't even get to number 5 of reading them before I'm smiling ear to ear. It just changes my whole energy. It changes my whole biochemistry. So this will help you develop an attitude of gratitude and abundance, which is huge. And if you're ever feeling off, a little off, go back to this, the top 10 things you're most grateful for in life. And, as you read through these, you'll be shocked that before you finish them, it just changes. As you read them, visualize them and feel them. And before you get done with them, I promise you, it'll change your whole energy. Your whole biochemistry will be affected positively. And the third and final tip that I'm going to give you is express gratitude to others daily. So, in our culture of abundance, which everyone on this Zoom has, we tend to have, we tend to take some things for granted. But when we learn to give thanks and express gratitude to others, we're learning to concentrate not on anything negative, but on the good things in our lives. This helps us be grateful, and being grateful really helps us to have a more positive attitude in our lives. This starts a positive cycle you can't imagine, which just helps to fuel itself. And think of the incredible butterfly effect paying it forward has. Like when people pay it forward at Starbucks or at a restaurant. Now imagine that, with that feeling of gratitude instead of money, right? I remember we were at a really nice restaurant, my wife and I, a couple years ago, and we hadn't made reservations, so there wasn't any seats available, and we were sitting at the bar, right? And we just ate at the bar. They had a really nice bar. There was an older couple right here, and my wife and I were right here, and we just started conversing with this older couple. And I say older, I mean, they were probably, somewhere around 70-ish, something like that. And don't hate me if you're on the Zoom right now and I just refer to you older than me, right? So we just had this great conversation, and they get up to leave and all that. And as we get up to leave, I'm asking, hey, we're ready for the bill. And they said, oh, they took care of it for you. Now I know our bill was not cheap, but it was so warming because I'm used to doing that for people, but it doesn't happen to us very often. And I'll tell you that it just stuck with me. And that was a couple years ago. But anyway, express gratitude to others daily. And, even if you don't have any money, you can always give them that feeling of gratitude, just expressing gratitude to them. So finally, I want to wrap up this Zoom by a quote with Walt Emerson. And it would be good for you to think on. Okay. It's what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters to compared to what lies within us. I'll say it again real quick because I messed that up. But it was what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. No one on this Zoom has ever tapped into their full potential, including myself. And it would be scary to see what that would be. The absolute pinnacle of your positive attitude, the absolute pinnacle, the highest point of your personal performance, of your leadership, of reaching out to people, of getting people in front of the information. So I challenge you, all of you, to make a decision to develop an attitude of gratitude. Live in the world of abundance and love and enjoy each moment to the fullest to make it easier for those around you to do the same by setting that example. Thank you, Zealous. I appreciate you. Have a good one. Have a record-breaking week, and know that today is the day you can level up your attitude. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Angela. Appreciate you all. Thanks.